Hey man, you know the name Piccolo translates to pickles in English? Wow, I actually did not know that. That's a really interesting fact. Yeah, I know. Hey man, do you like pickles? No, I actually do not like pickles. Yeah, I certainly do not like. I love pickles. On to the toy review. Have you been taking your schizo meds? What is up, everybody, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It is your boy Joe, and today we'll be taking a look at the s.h.Figuarts Dragon Ball superhero Piccolo. Now, the first thing some of you might be wondering, and that's, all two of you, there is no box. And the only simple reason I have for that is the figures I reviewed first were the only ones I had left with boxes. As for figures in the future, I threw them all away. So yeah, every figure from here and on forward, unless it's a new figure, will be with no box, and it will just be the figure itself. So taking a closer look at this figure, classic s.h.Figuarts quality. We have Piccolo, nice detail to the face, really captures that moment from Dragon Ball Superhero, the overall Piccolo design. The arm design, the overall detailing is really good, definitely a step up from those, average Dragon Ball arms. We have these different and larger legs, different, and even the ankles are like designed. So that's one thing I find neat about this figure. What are you saying? Let's go ahead and take a look at these figures' accessories. Now, when it comes to this figure's accessories, he has a total of 8 accessories, that being 3 heads and 5 hands. Starting off with this character's head, another odd thing about this figure, or more or less unique thing, instead of the average s.h.Figuarts thing with faces, we have different head sculpts. Which, taking a look at this first head, we have a smirking face, an angry or teeth-gritting face, and a screaming face. Now, that's not much when it comes to this figure's heads or faces, but let's see if it has a lot more hands. Starting off here, we have his fisted hands, these gripping hands, these wide open hands, and finally the singular special beam cannon hand. Beam cannon! And that was all this figure's accessories. There wasn't much. But anyways, accessories aside, let's go ahead and get to this figure's articulation. Starting off with his head, we have a swivel at the head. He can look up that far, and he can look about down that far with that hinge. So activating that hinge, he actually looks pretty decent up, due to the ball joint at the base of the neck. He opens his arm about that far. If you shift the ball joint that is there, and if you if you shift it, you can move the arm a little bit, a little more out. There's a ball joint at the sleeve, just like the other one figures. He has a swivel at the base of the bicep. Double jointed elbow. There's a hinge at the hand, and ball joint allows it to swivel. There's a arch, which is actually a lot compared to the other two figures. Just leaves this huge gap here, and then there's a crunch, which also leaves a huge gap at the back. There's a swivel at the waist, swivel at the base of the torso, or the overall abdomen. His leg can go out that far, as you can see, and it could go back that far, which is actually a lot. Leg spread is overall really wide. Wow, that's a pretty wide spread. That's more than the other two. Double jointed knee, swivel at the foot, ball joint, toe bend, and a okay pivot. Overall, this figure is awesome. For its price, you're getting a good deal for a decent Piccolo figure. one that isn't Dragon Stars Piccolo. And it's s.h.Figuarts, so I don't know why other people aren't taking a little more advantage of this. I've seen a lot of these on Target shelves and people don't want them. So I found this and I kind of just picked it up because it's Piccolo. I really needed Piccolo at the time, and it's s.h.Figuarts, so why let it down? A lot of people don't seem to enjoy this one. I mean, maybe because the lack of accessories, kind of like the Goku Black, but overall, it's not that bad of a figure. You can get some pretty cool poses with this guy, and overall, I do think that this figure is pretty decent. At least a good old solid 6 out of 10. Lack of accessories, but there is good enough detailing so that it's a pretty good Piccolo figure. But now, I think it's time for size comparisons. Here he is next to my last review, the s.h.Figuarts Goku Black. Here he is next to the Figma Doomslayer. Here he is next to a Fortnite Black Knight. I didn't know what else to compare him to. And here he is next to Lightning McQueen. Overall, I'd say this figure is okay. It's a good Piccolo figure, to say at best. Lacks in accessories, but kind of perfects in detail for the most part. Overall, it's a great figure. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Look good, stay safe, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.